Hello, everyone. This is Scribe, and with me, as always, is the lovely Monkey. Hello, Monkey.
Hello, how's it going tonight?
Goes all right. For those of you watching, if you've noticed, SDA isn't here. SDA has been fired. She's
Yeah.
been cut. She's just the final straw has broken my camel's back, and she's just gone. Yeah, that 77 cents was just too much of a burden for my uh, bank balance. So, yep, there you go. Layoffs. What can I tell you? We've decided to outsource her work to, I don't know, Satsu maybe.
I mean, we could do Satsu.
We can do Satsu. We'll
Yeah.
see though. Now, in all seriousness, SDA is having some internet connection issues right now. She's got a big thunderstorm in her area. She will join us as she is able, if she is able. So the seat will remain open for the time being.
And
But
if not, she'll be back tomorrow.
exactly. So
Oh, damn, I almost lit a cigarette. I still owe you guys 47 minutes. God
yeah,
damn it.
47 minutes are remaining in Monkey's non-smoking clock. And I thought you were stopping altogether as of
I
the
am
other day.
trying, but
Okay.
it's not as easy as that sounds.
Okay. We need to work up on something to replace your oral fixation in the meantime. Gum or something.
See, it's not the oral fixation. It's really not. It's the habit of having it right near me.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Have you gotten rid of all the
chewing gum
cigarettes
doesn't
in your
help.
house?
I've moved them further away from me. You see,
Okay.
you laugh, but for me, that's actually a big
No.
thing because
No,
it hurts to walk over there.
I understand. Well, I think you should, either you or someone should excise all of the supplies from your house. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
removing the temptation. Oh, thank you, Point Curation. JBP, Strategy 1, 12 Principles for a 21st Century Conservatism. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this Scribe No Rush. JBP. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
You're going to have to explain Point. And Point actually, fortuitously, brings up something by his donation. A bit of a confession to everyone. I love doing the ads for everybody, but they take time, and time during the stream that unfortunately distracts. So I'm going to be upping the bounty on doing an ad as an experiment to $10. That's the minimum for an ad. So if you are interested in having me do an ad for you on the air, or presumably, or possibly, depending on a video later on, $10 is now the new bounty. I appreciate all donations, no matter what the denomination, and your comment or anything you have to say in those super chats will be read. But for specifically for doing advertisements, $10 is the minimum. We'll see how that works. And that being said, do we have anything else to cover before we get into the schnews?
I think that's everything.
Okay. And as we begin the regular news, if you have any stories that you'd like us to take a look at, Point says Jordan Peterson's most recent video, he lays into conservatives too. I would have to watch that video. I will make it a point, no pun intended, to watch that video and hopefully have a opinion on it by the next stream. Anyway, as I was saying, if you have any stories you'd like us to take a look at, please send them to us on Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews, and we will take a look after we get past the regular news. So, all that being said, oh, and SDA is here.
Hi.
Hey, lady.
Hello. So, how's the storm going?
I'm on my phone
Mm-hmm.
because my internet is crapping out on me, so I can't watch chat.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, we will proceed then as per normal. How are you doing this evening otherwise?
I'm okay.
Is this storm from the tropical storm moving in?
You guys are my news, so is it?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless or until there's any more problems with SDA's internet, let's get into the snoozy snooze. Per the title of tonight's stream, let's talk about Trump and recording things, and sort of the epitome of no news is headline news. This is from CNN. Trump ends his self-made crisis where it started, Twitter. Now, before we get into this, and before I read this,
Sake.
yeah, before I read this, because I haven't read it yet, as we will recall, and this is in summary, several weeks ago, Trump made a comment on Twitter after James Comey, the fired FBI director, made assertions of conversations he had with the president that tended to suggest that the president was attempting to influence Comey's investigation into Michael Flynn, the now fired national security advisor, and his ties to Russia. And Trump made the comment, and I'm paraphrasing here, Comey better hope there aren't tapes of our conversations.
Yeah.
Now, Monkey's interpretation of that at the time, and correct me if I'm wrong, was Trump referring back to the information that came out that Trump's campaign had been wiretapped or otherwise was being monitored by the NSA or FBI.
Yes, that it was a direct reference to him saying the FBI had wiretapped his campaign.
Right. But the mainstream media and so many others somehow took that to mean that Trump was actively recording conversations had in the Oval Office, or assuming there had been. There was no evidence of this, but that's how they've run with it ever since. Today,
that line that they said, that line that they said, this self-made crisis. No. I think it's quite obvious what Trump was referring to.
Mm-hmm.
And they took it to, oh, he's Nixon. He's recording everything.
Right.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. So something that probably was never true, Trump is confirming isn't true. And now this is news and the crisis is over. I don't know, CNN, you explain it to me. President Donald Trump finally, grudgingly, had no choice but to come clean. His admission on Twitter Thursday that he did not secretly record his conversations with fired FBI Director James Comey, after earlier raising the possibility that he did, capped a 6-week charade that damaged his presidency and cast doubt on his personal credibility.
This is CNN, right?
If you believe that his original tweet was a declaration of truth, which no one really did if you thought about it for 5 seconds, then maybe. But it wasn't, and he didn't, so it's not.
Hasn't he already said there were no tapes?
Yes.
I swear we covered that like the next week.
Look, I really, we talked the other day about our where we see ourselves leaning politically, etc. I didn't vote for Trump. I don't particularly like the guy as president or anything else, but honestly, it's the same thing I've talked about before regarding Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is not legit unless someone is guilty of something they have brought upon themselves, not something that they are either being accused of falsely or held to account for, non-personal reasons. And this is bullshit.
Excuse me.
I find myself defending Trump's honor so often now because of the bullshit. It's like, okay, anyway, I digress. It was a surreal new twist to a presidency that has often already stretched the limits of credulity and has challenged conventions on the decorum and gravity expected in the behavior of the person who holds the office itself. Okay, that was a word salad. After weeks of speculation, the president delivered a mea culpa. Did he? A step that he had little choice to make in a somewhat resentful manner, in keeping with his reluctance to ever publicly admit error. Okay, quote, with all of the recently reported electronic surveillance, intercepts, unmasking, and illegal leaking of information, I have no idea whether there are tapes or recordings of my conversations with James Comey, but I did not make and do not have any such recordings, Trump wrote in a paraphrase. Exactly, he's referring back.
Isn't he confirming exactly what I said?
Yes. This is... But CNN says, oh, well, this is him having to climb down from some grand declaration and he has no credibility. CNN, you don't have any credibility.
I fucking hate people.
I mean, this is... Just do a find and replace on Donald Trump's name with anyone else in the world and put it the same set of circumstances. CNN has taken something that was not a story, turned it into a story, and then when the subject of the story refutes the story, they say it's a mark in his disfavor.
Yes.
His
Look,
statement,
whether you not like Trump or not, what is happening to him is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
The way he's being treated by the news is fucking disgusting.
I mean, if you're going to criticize him on substantive things, not this, mythical conjured bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I want, just to be a little pie in the sky for a second, I want a fifth estate that is, or is it the fourth estate?
Fourth estate.
That's right, the fourth estate. The fifth estate's now the internet. Sorry, well, it's the same difference now, I guess. Anyway, I want a press that is honestly going after the people in charge for the things that they need to be held to account for. That is something they want. Oh, point curation. Sorry, I missed that. Advertisement for Jim Jones, Monkey Dick, and movies. I'm going to have to come up with a movie ad featuring all those factors now. That is what I promise you I will do, Point. In short order, I will do that. Thank you very much. Very, very much.
And speaking of that, would you guys please be so kind as to hit the like button there for us?
Yes. We have 134 people watching and 43 likes. If you would please, by all means, click that little thumbs up button. We would appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm and all that fun YouTube magic. Anyway, what I was saying was I want a press that is holding authority to account for the things that they do that is affecting the people they are representing. This is bullshit. This was manufactured bullshit out of nothing. And it's one of those things where it wasn't even like Trump said something like on the campaign trail, we will have a law to ban all Muslims or something, that you could legitimately say, oh, well, now he's making a policy position. No, he made a joke. He made a joke about things that had been going on in the press before, that had been proven to have been going on, and CNN and others took this to mean he was making a declaration, not making a joke.
Yeah. Now, why? Never mind.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He was recording anything. There's no fucking reason to believe that.
Okay.
And he had to do this because it's marred his presidency. No. Oh, God, I fucking hate these people.
Yeah, he may have already marred his presidency in many other ways. This is not one of them.
No, this is fucking
not
retarded.
One of them. Anyway, there's not much more to say about this story because it was a non-story to begin with, and CNN has made it their headline news. So, like I coined this thing, and it's becoming truer with every day. No news is headline news. That's how it works now. Anyway, SDA, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, I don't want to bowl over you or anything with all this other stuff.
You got another donation here too.
Sorry about that. Let's see. Sir Adamantine, thank you very much. Hey guys, Scribe totally up for the boys blow and bondage ad too. Jesus, I got to do a sequel to your Bordello. Okay, yes. I got to start making some notes here because eventually I'm gonna have to take a break for a couple of minutes and cook up some stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Movie. Let's see. I got to make a movie ad. Jim Jones and Monkey Dick. Okay, that'll be funny. And then I need to have boys blow bondage too. All right.
For the record, I just want to point out Monkey Dick comes first. I just want to throw that out there.
I'll remember that when I try to come up with a catchphrase for the movie poster.
It is Monkey Dick, then Jim Jones.
Okay.
And then movies.
Very, very well. I will make sure.
I'm giving this to the audience.
Oh, okay.
I know you know.
I know
Monkey Dick where it goes.
I know intimately where Monkey Dick goes.
Monkey Dick's on top.
All right.
Anyhow,
next big story today was the healthcare bill.
Oh yeah.
The Republicans finally.
Did you read any of it?
No, I haven't.
Good, me neither. Let's see what the news says about it.
So, CNN. Let's not call it the news. Well, it's CNN. Let's be specific.
Close enough.
So 4 GOP senators say they can't vote for current Republican health care bill. 4 conservative Republican senators announced Thursday that they oppose the current version of GOP Senate leadership's health care bill as written. Senators Rand Paul of Kentucky, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, Ted Cruz of Texas, and Mike Lee of Utah said in a joint statement they're not ready to vote for this bill. Quote, currently, for a variety of reasons, we are not ready to vote for this bill, but we are open to negotiation and obtaining more information before it is brought to the floor, the senator said. There are provisions in this draft that represent an improvement to our current healthcare system, but it does not appear this draft as written will accomplish the most important promise that we made to Americans, to repeal Obamacare and lower their health care costs. Republicans can only lose 2 members of their 52 senator caucus in order to pass their proposal to repeal and replace Obamacare. In a 50-50 outcome, Vice President Mike Pence would provide the tie-breaking vote. Quote, as currently drafted, this bill does not do nearly enough to lower premiums, Cruz said in a separate statement obtained by CNN's Dana Bash. That should be the central issue for Republicans, repealing Obamacare and making healthcare more affordable. Because of this, I cannot support it as currently drafted, and I do not believe it has the votes to pass the Senate. A number of other GOP senators are avoiding outright supporting the new healthcare bill unveiled by Republican leaders Thursday morning, saying they need more time to read the fine print before taking a stand. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell unveiled that's such an awkward phrasing. How about unveiled the GOP alternative? Warning in a speech that more Americans may get hurt if we don't do something. Well, I just need to know that whatever they're offering is going to do better than Obamacare. That's basically it. I'm not married to Obamacare. Just tell me that what you're offering is better. Since you didn't have anything to offer up when the time came after the election, I can't imagine that this is better.
Real quick, we had another donation from Sanguine. Thank you so much. Monkey Dick comes first. That sounds disappointing.
A thriller. Jeez Louise. All right. Thank you very much, Sanguine. A thriller.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on 8 years. 8 goddamn years of you guys saying that you had something.
Right.
I personally believe the only way you're going to make Obamacare better is to just go to fucking single payer. Now, that does not mean single payer will be a good system. It will be better than Obamacare.
Yes.
My personal belief is that you scrap all of that shit and just go back to how it was with certain things. I have no problem keeping, you know, pre-existing conditions, but that will raise everyone's premium. It's just how insurance works.
Yeah.
But you can get rid of things like making gay men have maternity care. That's fucking retarded. So you could find ways to bring it down for certain people. That said, I'm back to 8 fucking years where you guys have been saying you have a plan. You have a plan. And you can't go fuck yourselves. This is why I'm not a Republican. Because no matter how much you believe in them, they are just as bad as Democrats. They really are. Both parties are pretty much shit. That's my opinion.
We lost SDA at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Sorry, SDA.
Somewhere.
Did you tell us? Okay. Well, we'll keep it open. The thing that I heard on the radio about it is that, and if this isn't true, then by all means correct me. The current draft of the plan is going to cut into Medicare. Which isn't obviously going to be popular with most people. You can't hear me. She can't hear you, Scribe. She can't hear me because she's not here. Can you hear me? What?
That's what she said to us. Why she dropped.
Oh, I see. Okay, I missed that part.
That's all right.
I've got stories in front of me, and I don't have chat every 2 seconds. Unfortunately, that's why I have Monkey here to watch chat for me.
And I wasn't.
Okay. Oh well, this is live TV, everyone. I told Monkey that before I dropped. Okay. Anyway, there's not much more to say on that. It's still in flux. Obviously, whatever the draft of the bill is now, without the votes to pass it, it's going to have to be modified, or it might just completely die.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, if it is not a better deal in some fashion than Obamacare, it should. Because whether or not you like Obamacare or you appreciate the name attached to that program, or the nickname, I should say, it doesn't matter. Is what is being offered a better deal or make life better for people than what is currently in place? If the answer is no, don't do it. I don't know how else to put it. It's like, politics aside, is it helping more people or fewer people? It's a pretty simple equation. That one aside, we're kind of into potpourri. Okay. Unless there's something else that you know about that I'm missing that's of major import.
No, I've spent most of my day making videos. I haven't even paid attention to anything going on around me.
Okay, so you will be our SDA then for the time being.
Okay.
So you get to be the Vanna White of Potpourri.
Let me get my SDA voice. All right, go ahead.
I think something might be wrong with your ears. Are you hearing Barry White when SDA talks?
That's not important right now. Give me my choices.
Dear God.
Give me my
Okay.
choices.
We have Ron Howard.
That's all. We'll do that one.
Okay. Han Solo, we have a director. Ron Howard will be stepping in to direct the upcoming Han Solo spin-off Star Wars film after the original directors stepped down 2 days ago. Lucasfilm announced on Thursday. Didn't seem like they stepped down, more they were sort of like, you guys are gone.
Yeah.
Quote, at Lucasfilm, we believe the highest goal of each film is to delight, carrying forward the spirit of the saga that George Lucas began 40 years ago, Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm, said in a statement. With that in mind, we're thrilled to announce that Ron Howard will step in to direct the untitled Han Solo film. We have a wonderful script, an incredible cast and crew, and the absolute commitment to make a great movie. Filming will resume on July 10th, she said. Now, what I'm really curious about, so they started filming in January. They've been working on this for 6 months. They had some notion that there might be problems early on into production, but they gave it a go, they said earlier. And it didn't turn out because it's like the visions did not match. So you spent 6 months filming this. You've got a release date of next winter because they want to have one of these movies out every year, every winter. Ron Howard, a completely different director than the two guys that they had doing this, comes in. Can he conceivably use much of anything that was previously filmed, since they said the reason they dropped the first directors is because the tone was all wrong?
I'm going to say no. I think if Ron Howard had directed this from the start, it could be an awesome film.
Yeah.
But if they try to piecemeal this together, I know they're going to have to reshoot
everything,
in my opinion. And maybe they have some cinematography shots, that the shit people get those awards for, but nothing with the people interacting. No.
Yeah, the way the characters interacted and everything else. So if they mean to keep the same schedule, I mean, if they push out the release date by 6 months and make it a summer film next year, or actually it would be a summer film the year after, actually, then good for them. They'd be doing the smart thing. If they try to keep to that same release date, then they're going to have a rushed production. They're going to have to cobble together what they can salvage from the previous filming and everything. And they're going to have to reshoot whole swaths of this film in order to make it all fit. Because obviously, if the problem was the tone that the first two guys were doing was off for what they wanted for a Han Solo film, then everything is tainted and nothing is recoverable mostly. So they have to refilm all the personal stuff. Now, this might also, the other thing is, with an accelerated schedule, they probably, if they don't change the release date, it may force the script to be rewritten to include more character-oriented stuff than action-oriented stuff. Now, obviously, in a Star Wars film, you want to have a good balance of both. But since this is supposed to be a Han Solo film, we could get more of a personalized story, just by dint of the lack of extra time. Maybe.
I doubt it.
But Ron Howard doesn't do personal. He does spectacle. As far as I know, he's never done a sci-fi film. I could be mistaken. He's never directed one. And I don't believe he's done a fantasy type film since Willow. So this is an area he hasn't touched on in a long time, which might have been the attraction for him. Anyway, I'm curious to see what comes of this, because mostly whether they're going to stick to the release date or not. Anyway,
I would say at this point the release date is pretty much gone.
I guess we'll see. If they try to stick to it, I think they're hamstringing Ron Howard's ability to make a good movie. If they move it, well, they just have to move it. I mean, it's going to make money no matter when it comes out, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, since I didn't really get into the potpourri, the next topic is Instagram model. We have stuffed cow and... Oh, yeah.
Let's go with the stuffed cow, baby.
Okay. And the third story was actually a repeat of the GOP healthcare bill. I just didn't know if there was something different there. So we only have two left. Okay. Chelsea, Massachusetts. Huge stuffed cow saves 2-year-old boy after fall out of window.
Oh, nice.
Police in Massachusetts are crediting a huge stuffed cow with saving 2-year-old boy. How about saving a 2-year-old boy, AP? The letter is in your name. A. Saving a 2-year-old boy who fell out of a second-story window and onto concrete below. Police say the boy was playing in a bedroom with his 12-year-old sister and bouncing on the bed when he bounced right out of the window. He fell 16 feet onto the concrete. Luckily, he was holding onto the stuffed cow, which broke his fall. Thank goodness for that. The boy's great uncle, Luis Estrada, tells the news that the 2-year-old takes the stuffed animal with him everywhere. Well, good. The kid had some cuts and bruises, but was otherwise okay. Well, good, because that could have been tragic as fuck.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that cow deserves a medal.
I always wonder about these stories. How can you be jumping on the bed and be that close to a fucking window to where you fall out?
I could see it.
I'm a very nervous parent. I would not have a bed that close to a window where that could happen. Because I imagine very low windows.
Yes.
Or something like that. Yeah, no, fuck that. No. I am a very nervous person who would have like plywood up over that.
Let's see. We have 85 likes and 146 people watching. I'm looking at you, chat. Make that number go up, if you would please.
Give us some love.
Yeah, some
Give
thumb
us some
love.
hot monkey love.
Lastly, this was the weirdest and most tragic story I read today, or at least one of them.
Oh.
Instagram fitness model dies after freak kitchen accident.
I saw that. That was horrible.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like you see this person, it's like, oh, this person is like the picture of physical health. She's a beautiful woman, and she's just like spent her entire life being a health nut and encouraging others to be health nuts, and then she decided to use a whipped cream canister and it exploded and she died. A popular social media fitness personality died after what can only be described as a freak accident involving a whipped cream canister. Rebecca Berger was a French fitness blogger and competitor with more than 150,000 Instagram followers. According to a cautionary Instagram post written by her family, a pressurized whipped cream dispenser exploded, hitting the 33-year-old in the thorax and sending her into cardiac arrest. Man. This is an example of the whipped cream siphon that exploded and hit Rebecca's thorax, leading to her death, her family wrote under a photo of the metal device. To be clear, the dispenser that led to her death was sealed. Do not use this type of utensil. Tens of thousands of defective devices are still out there. French police confirmed the death to CNN and said an investigation has been launched by the prosecutor's office in the French town of Mulhouse. Authorities also said the cause of death is not yet confirmed. Okay. Let's see. The newspaper reported Berger's heart stopped during the accident and she was temporarily revived by paramedics, but later died at a hospital. Though it sounds incomprehensible and the specific cause of Berger's death hasn't been confirmed, serious injury due to whipped cream dispensers is not unheard of in France. 60 million consumers, a French consumer group, okay, that's a weird name for a consumer group, says such pressurized devices have led to serious injuries, including the loss of an eye in one case and chest fractures in another. Yeah, you just look at the pictures of this lady, it's just like, you know, she was the picture of physical health, 33 years old, a whipped cream dispenser, for fuck's sake.
Check out Sanguine's super chat.
Scroll back just a bit. Sanguine, thank you. Wow, trans fat really do kill, huh? Oh.
Yeah.
Now, she's not trans. She's just very muscular.
Nice. And I don't understand. See, maybe I'm a spoiled American. I saw the device, and you actually have to put a CO2 cartridge in this thing.
Yes.
My whipped cream comes from the store that way. I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like one of those things. Yeah, it looks like one of those things that like I see at Starbucks when they're putting the whipped cream on, like industrial size deals.
Yeah, fuck it. Just put a little dollop in there. You don't have to do all that.
The other thing too is
it ain't worth dying over.
Look at these pictures. How does someone have a waist that small? for her proportion. I mean, it's crazy how tiny her waist
That girl
is.
did steroids.
I don't know what she did, but holy cats.
I'm not taking anything away from her, but that is not all natural.
And regardless, I mean, that for that top picture, that is such a nice butt. I know it's a shallow thing to have to talk about when somebody's dead, but still. And I'm not being a necrophiliac or nothing.
The waist of a nice butt.
Yeah. The waist. Yeah, exactly.
See what I did there with your waist? And yeah. Anyway. Yes, I'm sorry, the Jack Cochran vitamins.
Vitamins.
Not steroids. I don't want to slander anybody.
Monkey, would you do us the honor of going through some MSS news while I cook up some ads real quick for our lovely donators?
Sure. Let me get over there real fast.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of tag teaming here, at least tag teaming on the.
We're tag teaming nobody, so we're tag teaming.
Well, we don't have SDA here, so we can't Eiffel Tower right now, but maybe later.
Okay, let's see. The first story, well, and by first story, I mean the latest one. This comes to us from somebody I didn't pay attention to, Dragon 13. Yeah, you thought you had me with that Roman numeral crap, but I can read those. Leftists want to break up Amazon. That's idiotic. On Tuesday, Douglas, oh, for fuck's sake, why is it resetting its place? All right, stop that. On Tuesday, Douglas Rushkoff of, God damn it, it did it again.
I know, doesn't you love that?
We might not be reading this story because CNN, this is coming actually from the Daily Wire via CNN.
Oh. Keeps
resetting my place on the page. And it did it again. All right, fuck this page. We're not reading that. From Colleen Bernier. Is it staff reporter or field reporter?
Colleen Bernier.
Staff reporter Colleen Bernier. Accidental alert warns California of earthquake that happened in 1925. We actually did that story yesterday. So
you need to look at the little post mark on there, like when it was sent. I'm just saying. I have more
these
practice.
These are the latest. These are actually the latest. This one that was sent 7 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we did talk about that one yesterday. Okay.
No. Did y'all see how he blamed me?
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop backseat driving. I'll just be over here.
Yeah, you sit over there and do your ads like you're supposed to.
Yes, sir.
Also from staff reporter Colleen Bernier, Yale dean who called people white trash and low class on Yelp leaves position. This one comes to us from the Huffington Post. A Yale University dean has left her position following outrage among students when insult reviews on her personal Yelp account surfaced last month. God, stupid ads. June Chu, who was dean of Pearson College at the prestigious New Haven, Connecticut University, was placed on leave in May after screenshots began circulating of her calling people white trash, other derogatory terms on the crowdsourcing reviews site. Chu's decision to leave was announced. I think it's great that she's on Yelp and her name is Chu. I just got to say that. Chu's decision to leave was announced Tuesday by Stephen Davis, head of Pearson College, in an email to students. Quote, Dean Chu has left her position at Pearson College and wishes the best to the students. Davis said in the email, as a result, I am initiating a process of the search for a new dean who will be in place before the start of the fall term. Who cares? Let's read one of her. Oh, here's one of her reviews. To put it quite simply, if you are white trash, this is the perfect night out for you. This establishment is definitely not authentic by any stretch of any imagination and perfect for those low-class folks who believe this is a real night out. Oversalted and greasy food. Side note, employees are Chinese, not Japanese. This was for a Japanese restaurant.
Oh, no.
And they have one more here. This was her review for Entertainment Cinemas. Good Lord, talk about idiocy and incompetence. Why the hell in this day and age would there be no separate line for just tickets? So what they have is barely educated morons trying to manage snack orders for the obese and also try to add 7 plus 7. Unfortunately, it's this or the Hanover Nugget, but heaven forbid the Nugget get movies which pander to the masses. If you've got no choice and you like a fool, and you like a... All right, she's an idiot, and she's lost her job because she called people white trash. Yay! Where's the Asian Kevin Bacon? This one comes to us from staff reporter Jack Cochran.
Or Jack Cochran.
Do. 1 year after changes to the anti-dancing law, clubbers are hopeful. Osaka. Around 24 people shuffle about the dark interior of Alzar, a recently opened nightclub on the 8th floor of a building in Osaka's Chuo ward that features a capsule hotel and sauna. Most hover near the concrete wall, watching the European DJ play house music. A group orders champagne, taking swigs straight from the bottle, before one of them stumbles out onto the dance floor to a chorus of laughs. Apparently, there's no dancing in Osaka.
Oh.
That's sad.
You mean I can't waltz in
more,
Osaka?
They'll dance a lot more if they read more.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is this is what's probably fucking with SDA right now. Cindy weakens into tropical depression after making landfall in Louisiana. I'm not going to read it because there's not the storm got downgraded.
No.
That came from Scotch. Thank you, Scotch. Okay.
Thank you, point. Someone losing their job over something they said outside of work is not something to celebrate.
I wasn't actually celebrating. I was just saying, yay, because that's what I do.
It was an ironic, a regretful yay.
Yeah, I don't think she should lose her job over something like that.
No.
I do find it hard to feel bad for a leftist to get fucked that way. But I still do. I don't think she should lose her job over what she said on fucking Yelp.
No.
And to be honest, to be fair, she wasn't fired. She quit.
Well,
whether she felt like she had to.
She quit. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, she did tender her resignation. She wasn't fired by the school. And if I am in that position, I make them fire me and then I take them to court. Because I'm of the same opinion. But yeah, if you found my yay upsetting, and that was just me doing the noise because I think it's funny sometimes. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Man, there's a lot of stories.
I know. You're very dedicated followers.
I know. You guys are great. You guys, you almost make this too easy, but still way too hard because there's so many to go through trying to find something worthy of talking because we have such limited time these days. Okay, let's see what this one is. I think this one was also from Scotch. Yes, it is. Yellowstone grizzly bears to lose protections after 42 years on endangered species list. That sounds like a good thing.
Have they bred themselves into safety again?
I hope so. Let's see. About 700 grizzly bears that roam the Yellowstone National Park area will soon lose the protections they have under the Endangered Species Act for more than 40 years, the Interior Department announced Thursday. The change, which is set to take effect next month, is a sign of a major comeback of Yellowstone's bears. So yeah, it's a good thing. Apparently their numbers got as low as 136 in the continental U.S. Back in 1975, and now they're over 700. So they're humping pretty good. Good job. Good job, bears. What else we got? I like humping bears. I think bears should hump more. I think they wouldn't be so cranky. This is also from Scott. God damn it. Washington Times. Get this shit off my...
Would you not have ad block or anything on your...
No.
You should really have ad block on your browser. I understand that it's pesky ad block, and I'm not encouraging people to put ad block on their browser because obviously, I don't care, but might save you some problems.
Well, for the most part, I don't go to many sites that would be an issue. I do most of my news reading on my phone.
One quick. Three quick things. First,
Sure.
something somebody said in the chat, and then I've got two ads I can read. First, Quill mentioned, and I should tell everybody who's a nerd on here, the Steam summer sale began today.
Oh yeah, I got to check that out.
So if you have not already taken a look at that, go take a look now. I'm not quite sure what, if anything, I might buy, but it all depends on what they have for sale. Now for a couple of ads. I have two of the three so far requested done. First will be Point's request. In 1978, 900 members of a death cult took their own lives on the whim of a madman. But now the story can be told of the night before the tragedy to see what drove Jim Jones insane. Monkey Dick. Starring Powers Booth as Jim Jones and Ranting Monkey as the Monkey Dick, prepare yourself for the Bone Town Horror.
Wait, how come Ranting Monkey is the Monkey Dick? I have the Monkey Dick.
No, you're a giant phallus. You're a monster. You're a monster.
I got that.
You're giant.
I'm
you're
a monstrous
detached
dick.
You're a monstrous detached monkey dick roaming the jungle.
I feel like Chrisiosity would agree with you right now.
That's probably true. Secondly, Sir Adamantines. From the ashes of Crater Valley, den of sin on the lunar surface, Whoremaster Adamantine rises again, in more ways than one, to bring oiled men, cocaine, and fuzzy handcuffs to the masses. But this time, he's going to Mars. BBB3, Celestial Succulence.
Very nice. Those were two really good ones.
Now I got to figure out what to do for Sanguine, a thriller. I'm inclined to do something Michael Jackson related.
Yeah, you should.
Powers Booth. Powers Booth was the best Jim Jones. Next to the real Jim Jones. But let's see. Sanguine, oh, you're welcome, Point. Thank you for the donation. Thanks a lot. That was awesome. You're welcome. Sanguine, a thriller. Any kind of thriller, Sanguine. I need at least maybe a little seedling to riff off of. In the meantime, while we wait for that to happen. Oh, did you see that Based Mama was streaming live from VidCon?
I did not.
Oh, she put up this clip earlier, and I was like, oh, this is like happening right now. And she's just going off. I don't know what's going on exactly, but she was pissed.
I saw Chris Raygun just recently posted ShitCon. Apparently, they're having some issues there.
Yeah, I've read different things about what. Sweeper Steven, thank you. Just stopping in to say, Chatelet guy, have to clock into work. We'll watch the live feed later, and no SDA makes me sad. And LOL, makes me. I assume you mean sad. And Scribe, I will make it easy on you. I pick street sweeping.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Okay, street sweeping. Okay, all right, Steven. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm done with news. We're close enough.
I think, and they said that Anita said something horrible about Sargon, like he's garbage or something. I don't know. This is all just rumors, guys. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things about this. One, I would love to go to VidCon. I think it would be really neat to go meet everybody. But I would also really like to go to some of the panel discussions they have. I know the game theorists were holding a couple of panel discussions, and those guys are really smart. Their latest video, or it might be their second, or what's not their latest, but their second to latest. Oh, anyway, one of their very recent videos was on the YouTube algorithm, and they went through and they read a paper that they found where it actually lays out what YouTube looks for and how their algorithm works. Yeah, and it's more complicated than you think, but not as complicated as you think. It almost entirely boils down to how much they think people are going to watch. So if you make a 40-minute video, but nobody watches your channel, you're not going to get as much traffic as somebody who made a 20-minute video who gets, a lot more views. The same as if somebody only watches 3-minute videos. If they come across your 20-minute video, it's not going to be pushed to them because they're probably not going to watch it. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff like that I'm really interested in on the I don't even want to necessarily call it the business side of YouTube, but the inner workings of YouTube. But that's because I'm a giant nerd.
Right.
this is the kind of thing that I would go to, like a Comic-Con where they actually discussed the inner workings of the USS Enterprise D and how it was able to jump to light speed without jump or breaking apart.
Mm.
I like nerdy shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to want to go to VidCon to get drunk, and that's fine. And you can do that.
Well, have you ever been to a convention, just any convention?
No.
Okay. I've been to a couple of comic book conventions and other such things, and they are mostly to go get drunk and get laid and dress up.
Yeah.
That's the main driving force. There's panels and things to go to otherwise, but mostly it's who can you hook up with, who can you hang out with, and how much can you drink in the meantime.
Exactly. Yes. And with VidCon, it's not there's not much to do unless you have it's in California, so it's expensive out there. And there's only you meet up, you talk, you hang out with people, and then if you actually go to the floor, yeah, it's kind of shit because it's Nerdville. And I don't know. I haven't seen it, but this is what I've seen so far. Who's Bering interviewing? I didn't know Bering was interviewing anyone.
Oh, see, everybody's streaming and we're streaming now. See, we have started a trend, I believe. We've talked about this before. Our concept, our bad habit of streaming every night now has become a thing for lots of other people. So like Suit Yourself is streaming and Bering is streaming, and who else is doing a stream? Is Mundane Matt doing a stream every night now too?
He was, yeah. But he's nice enough to at least do it at 1 o'clock in the morning my time.
Yeah, that's true. Either way, see, okay, I'm just going to say this now. Okay, anybody who streams on a nightly basis is a total monkey stream clone. That's right. You heard it here first. Okay, they all wear suits and they're clones of us. See, and they should feel ashamed.
Clone War 2, bitches.
Let's see. This broadcast is brought to you by this ad. What happens when SDA turns her ball cap backwards, slurs her words, and is handed a broom? Prepare yourself for Street Sweeper.
Nice.
Okay. I'm still working on Sanguine's thing. I'm trying to cook up like a serial killer type ad or something. He mentioned Zodiac in the chat, so.
Oh, apparently Bering is being interviewed by somebody on a podcast. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
Good for him, yeah.
I wish I could get interviewed on a podcast. So, Monkey, given the circumstances of our empty chair, that we have no one who is of a certain age.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon show?
You know, I didn't actually get to have a favorite Saturday morning cartoon
show.
I was always a night owl to the point I drove my mother nuts because I wouldn't go to sleep till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning most nights. And I would just sit in my bed and play. And the only day that I was allowed to sleep in was Saturday. So by the time I woke up, they had the really shitty cartoons on.
Mm-hmm.
Like Yogi Bear might have been on for a while. Yeah, I was more of an after-school cartoon kind of person rather than Saturday morning. What about you? What was your favorite?
I always loved Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I guess I was a big Spider-Man fan, of course, when I was a kid, but that was one of them. And I always wanted, so for those of you that don't know, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends included Spider-Man, Iceman from the X-Men of all things, and Firestar, a character that was created just for the cartoon and later on was carried over into the comic books. It was one of the first times that something like that had happened. And Peter Parker had the coolest apartment in the world because anytime that the three of them needed to go after a bad guy or something, Peter Parker would go into his house and he'd pull this little football trophy on a mantle. And it was a switch, and everything in the house, the couch, the cupboards and everything would flip around and twist. And there'd be a computer lab there and a scientific station. And I thought, oh my God, I want that. I want that so bad. I wished I had a house that could like turn into a computer.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I just remember like the Green Goblin was on there and Doctor Doom and all my favorite bad guys. And I'd always loved just waiting to see that on Saturday mornings. And then of course there was the Smurfs, which was okay. The Mr. T cartoon show was awesome
I love
because
the Mr. T show. I like the
Yeah.
WWE show too.
oh yeah, the WWF back then.
Right.
Yeah, with Junkyard Dog and Miss
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Macho Man and Hulk Hogan all fighting each other. Point curation, thank you very much. Advertisements: Spider-Man and his amazing friends, the Fantastic Mr. Frump. What? Oh my God.
It works.
Yeah, okay.
I did get to see a lot of those shows from time to time. There were certain Saturday mornings I'd wake up on time, but yeah, I didn't get to watch a lot of those. I was usually waking up around noon, and by then all the good ones were over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people who is so glad that vacation, because I was finally able to see him. Like, I don't think I ever saw a Smurf when it was first run, although all of my siblings did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just never got to. I was always sad about that, but it was okay because I enjoyed sleeping.
Yeah, I always like getting up, and I was always active because most of my childhood was lived on TV. I didn't have many friends because I was all small and shy and everything. So I watched a lot of TV, a lot of cartoons. Yeah, He-Man was another big one. I had a lot of He-Man toys. Transformers, GoBots. You remember GoBots?
I remember GoBots. Yeah,
I had a couple of GoBots.
GoBots
GoBots weren't nearly as cool.
My brother had one.
Oh, one? Yeah. Let's see. G.I. Joe, Silverhawks, Mask. I thought Mask was awesome.
Mask was cool.
I remember Mask. Man, I'm surprised they haven't done some kind of like revival of Mask, because that was I always wanted the jackhammer. It was this SUV that like a turret would pop up in the back, and it looked so cool. I just thought that was neat.
I think at this point, if they did bring that back, it would be done as a Michael Bay movie.
Wait, actually, that might actually work though, because Mask was
no.
I don't know.
Michael Bay movies do not work. I'm just throwing that out there because the action scenes, the part that you want to see, it would be done so crappy you couldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like Michael Bay movies. I like action movies.
Well, I mean,
wanted to love
really cool ones. He used to do really cool ones, and then he went like all completely bonkers with it, and people kept paying for them, which is why they keep being made.
Yeah. Somebody said, if you look at the shitcon, the hashtag shitcon 2017, it's about pushing a progressive narrative and vapid shit like makeup tutorials. Well, they knew going in that there was going to be a lot of regressive shit. The night that Bering got on with me, Jeff Holiday jumped on as well, and we were talking about VidCon, and he mentioned that Jeff Holiday mentioned that there were panels that were going to be set up for how can the SJWs push their agenda, basically. And we were like, you should go fuck with that. And just like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go have fun. To me, that would be fun. I would go ruin their day. I would get kicked out of VidCon over that. Sanguine, thank you so much. Pick your favorite Justice League member that would be racist now, such as Apache Chief, and make my ad about them. So you raise the stakes here, and they've made it harder on you.
I know. It's like racist DC Justice League character. That's a tough one, because I don't know Justice League nearly as well as I know Marvel, but I'll give it a shot. I'm still working on your first one, Sanguine. But I have one that the Point put up there real quick. The Fantastic Mr. Frump. What happens when a downtrodden homeless man comes into possession of a magic amulet? Nothing nearly as interesting as when that amulet is sought after by none other than Dr. Doom. Can Spider-Man and his amazing friends save the day? Excelsior!
Well done. Sorry, I was just looking up ShitCon 2017.
What's going on? So is that a hashtag?
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, I saw What was it? I saw something like a Cat Black and a bunch of people were on a panel, and Chris Ray Gun was sort of trolling them with his camera phone or something.
That's what I would do.
And I saw a picture of the Feminist Frequency panel, and the crowd was like 12 people in one section, and the rest of the place was empty.
I don't understand why they would have somebody like Anita Sarkeesian talking at VidCon. It's moronic.
Well, she does make videos.
She makes bad videos that people make fun of. It's all they do.
Racist. I don't. Would Black Lightning be racist? I mean, he's a black man who can throw lightning. I don't know if that's very racist, though. I'm gonna have to look up like racist Justice League characters because I don't know.
You'd have to name off the Justice League characters. I am not as.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. It's like the Avengers. Like everybody and their brother has been in the Justice League. Let's see. What's this? The internet may have found something. For me. Yeah, I know. That's a scary notion. The internet has found me something. Okay, so there was a character called Tyrock. Okay, and he appeared a year before Black Lightning, and he was one of DC's first black costume superheroes. According to Mike Grell, who co-created Tyrock with Carrie Bates, the character of Tyrock was sort of a sore spot with me. He had previously tried to introduce black characters into the series, but had been prevented by then-editor Murray Boltinoff. I kept getting stalled off, and finally comes Tyrock. They might as well have named him Tyrone. Their explanation for why there were no black people in the Legion of Superheroes was that all the black people had gone to live on an island.
All the black... What?
It's possibly the most racist concept I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it's a segregationist dream, right? So they name him Tyrock and give him the world's stupidest superpower. What was his superpower?
Wait, I want to get back to all the black people on an island.
Powers and abilities. Tyrock's superpower was his reality warping screams, which he could use to create dimensional portals and force fields, transmute objects, freeze objects, burn objects, or simply destroy them. That sounds cool. What's wrong with that?
I think it was the segregating all the black people that did.
Well, yeah, there was that too, but he said the stupidest powers ever imagined. I was like, I don't know how that's stupid. The effects and range of his powers were consistent when he first appeared, but later seemed to vary with the writer. Okay. Later writers often treated his powers simply being a sonic scream similar to that of Black Canary. Okay, well, still, I mean, but yeah, he looks like, well, I mean, it's a character that was drawn in the 70s, for God's sake, so he looks pretty cheesy. I don't know how, is that, well, I mean, the concept behind why there weren't any black people in the DC universe is racist as fuck, yeah. Tyrock was based on football player Fred Williamson. I modeled him on Fred the Hammer Williamson, who was a movie star at the time. Oh yeah, okay. That is a tough request, Sanguine. I'm not sure I can come up with something like that, but I'll try. Peter, thank you. Francesca Ramsey's Comedy Central show for my ad, please. Oh God. Oh boy, Monkey. What is her?
Give me ads for me to do this by myself.
I know.
Wow. Okay, you know what? You do that, and I'm going to talk with Chad. Guys, give me something to talk about. Give me a topic. Let's see how much I can just riff on something. Let's see if y'all can make me fucking rant.
Let's see.
And it's not too hard to make me rant these days.
I wonder.
Saddest ad.
Well, let's go at least partially into YouTube. You did some YouTube stuff today.
Sure, we can do that. We can talk about some YouTube. I made a video on Chrisiosity because for the second day in a row, she's still defending her moronic shit of standing up for a man who told a woman who wasn't listening to him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but you did something for the first time today with your video that you told me about before the stream started.
The first time.
You tagged someone you did a video?
Oh yeah, this is the first time that I actually tagged the person that I made in the video. Now, when I made my video on Wizard of Cause, I did tell him I was doing that because we're friendly. When I made my response to Irate Bear, I told him I was doing it. Those were both in advance. And this one, after I finished making the video, I tagged Chrisiosity in it. I actually sent it to her as a response to our video or our conversation. And we've been arguing about this because she insists that that their criticism of Lacey is perfectly valid, and I find it just as moronic as the criticism I saw on our side of things, and more so even because they've literally delegitimized her as a feminist, even though she hasn't said anything against feminism. It's so fucking moronic. It's see, I'm getting all worked up again. So I went and watched her video because she told me I needed to watch her video. And at the time, I didn't think I'd seen any of her video. But when I started, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember watching this and turning it the fuck off. One of her first points is that Lacey is being inconsistent because she'll talk to Andy Worski, but she won't talk to Kevin Logan. And she admits that Kevin Logan said some nasty shit, but Andy Worski said nasty shit too. Well, there's a big difference there in that Andy and Lacey were friends before she came out on YouTube as this big feminist. They had a falling out over that, and they're rebuilding a bridge there. They're coming back together. Kevin Logan's just a dick. Kevin Logan wasn't making jokes when he called Shu a cum bucket.
I never heard that one. Seriously?
Oh yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Okay. Oh, wonderful.
He said she was just being used as a cum bucket by Armored Skeptic. And it's vile. It's not, he's not making a joke about it. He's being a vile piece of shit. And Kevin Logan is just not a nice person. I don't know how that community still loves him, because many of the things that they've shunned Jenny for came from fucking Kevin. Anyway, so there's a big difference. Andy tells jokes. She actually links to one of Andy's videos that's supposed to be really horrible, and it's supposed to be Andy being really mean to Riley Dennis. The meanest thing he says in this whole thing, and it's the only mean thing he really says, is that Riley's Adam's apple is bigger than most cocks. And then he starts laughing. It was clearly a joke. Thank you, Point. See, our character was not objective by not quoting what was said. Oh, Chrisiosity was not objective by not quoting what was said. Yeah, absolutely. She does another thing later on in that video where she gives an example. She's going to give an example of, fuck, I forgot what point it was. But anyway, the example she gives is how skeptics don't actually stand up for free speech. But within her example, she doesn't actually give any concrete examples. It's such vague, nonsensical bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a horrible video, and I was happy to tear it apart. God, it was a long video, and she talks very slow. She talks very slow, but she doesn't seem to ever take a breath. And that was really hard to deal with. By the end of it, I was like, fuck everything. Fuck the whole world. I don't care anymore. So, yeah, I was happy to have that one done, but I had fun doing it for most part. Did you do anything on YouTube today?
I started to. Let me do Sanguine's Thriller ad really quick. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, 1 second. I got to add something. This is the problem with being an English major and trying to take pride in the things that you write. It's like it's that old phrase: "A masterpiece is never completed, only abandoned." So even at the moment I'm about to say something, I think, no, I can improve it. I can improve it just a little bit. Okay, here we go. A killer stalks the streets of New York. Victims tied upside down to fire escapes, their blood draining from their slit throats into wine glasses. Now it is a race against time for Detective Sanguine to try and stop the psychopath before they claim their next victim. Beware of the bloody sommelier.
Well done. Before you get into your YouTube stuff, somebody just asked, how in the hell does she believe skeptics don't stand up for free speech? This is a convoluted thought process.
Yeah, what's the logic there?
If let's say Chrisiosity, who I think has about 2,000, 3,000 subscribers, makes a video, and somebody like me who has 16,000 subscribers makes a response video to that, and then all of my subs go over to her video and downvote it and tell her she's a nasty whore. Well, that might make her feel bad and make her turn off her channel, shut down her channel. Then I am guilty of violating her free speech. That's what they think. I don't know how they think that. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with free speech, but that's where the logic comes from. Oh, so anyway, you said you were working on a video.
Yeah, but I have another ad that I finished, so let's do that one.
Oh, let's get that done.
So, see Francesca Ramsey's new hilarious sketch show, Social Justice on Parade, with a cavalcade of false claims, warped facts, and racism. Lots and lots of racism. Prepare yourself for chess massa.
Chess massa. Oh my God. Well done.
Oh, good. I'm working on the racist DC ad here. Yeah, so I mentioned this last night and the last couple of nights. I just recorded the sound today and got the sound edited and tweaked. And I have, I believe, all the inserts I need, all the clips and things for it's probably going to end up being either just under or just over half an hour. Because of the time on there. The raw video, the raw subject video, is 1 hour and 16 minutes long. I only sampled the first 10 or 13 minutes or so, somewhere in there, because usually in things like this, I take the speaker's opening gambit in what they're doing. If their introduction to their argument in a long soliloquy or something doesn't grab me right away or doesn't make a lot of sense, then I don't need to go much further into the rest of what they have to say, because if they can't grab me with their first opening statement, then there's not much left to be done. What we have here is a panel of 4 women who are all highly situated professional women on the question of how do you achieve gender equality in a large organization, so like a big, corporate entity and that kind of thing. And nothing they have to say in their first thoughts on the subject, having purportedly lived through the kind of issues that they're discussing, says anything of substance at all. And it actually surprised the hell out of me that nothing more concrete could be come up with in the first. I mean, as you try to move, like if somebody says, what's the first step towards achieving gender equality, like the first step, the very highest level thing that you have to do, you'd think that someone with a lot of experience or a lot of time thought on this, or just having lived through it, would be able to articulate something very concrete right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Nothing. But no. Out of these 4 different women from 4 different areas of work, yeah. So like I say, after the first 10 minutes or so, I knew there wasn't really any reason to watch the rest of the video. Now, admittedly, maybe there's some grand revelation somewhere deep in there, but my brain could not handle more than what I'd already watched at that point. So if there was something to discover, which I doubt, maybe it's buried in there, and maybe some brave soul who watches my video will want to go and watch the original. Anyway, granted that nothing delays me tomorrow, I should be able to cook that up, and I promise I will release it after the stream. Yeah, you'll release that shit like 5 minutes before the stream. After the stream. The only way I'll release it earlier than that is if, and this has happened in the past, I wake up at god awful early in the morning before I have to go to work and find myself with a couple of hours to kill. Then I may try to assemble it then before I go to work and release it very early in the day. But short of that happening, and I do want to get my beauty sleep tonight because, oh God, I need it. it'll be released after the stream, at worst late tomorrow night, or at very worst early Saturday morning.
Somebody asked earlier what I thought of Joy Sparkles and Onision's debate.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
This is also related to YouTube. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
First, that was not a debate. It was a dumpster fire, and it was glorious and horrendous at the same time. And I'm making a video on it. I am scoring it like a boxing match, round by round. And that hopefully will be up sometime in the early morning.
Did I mention Points last super chat? I might not have. Point said, I believe he's referencing Chrisiosity. Chrisiosity was not objective by not quoting what was said.
I read that one.
Oh, did you? Okay, I apologize.
Yes.
I was
no, that's fine.
writing an ad or something.
I would rather us get it twice than not get it at all.
Sure.
Nothing for you here says Onision got owned. I honestly don't see it that way. I don't think anybody came out of that looking good. It was a dumpster fire. Everybody involved got shit on them. And the one thing I will say is I did enjoy Jeff Holiday. Even I liked watching Jeff Holiday rip into Onision, but I don't think it really helped his cause either. I think he did much better while he was keeping his composure until he finally snapped on Onision. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I enjoyed watching him tell Onision what a cunt he is, but it didn't help anything. And there was nothing to debate in the first place. The debate was literally, you're a stalker. No, sue me. That was the fucking debate. And yeah, but I'm going to have some fun with it and make a little silly video on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And for the record, my video is only going to go over Onision and Joy. I'm not gonna. There were a lot of other people who got involved. I'm not going to be fucking with them. Deep topic. What's our deep topic for tonight?
Deep topic.
We need a deep topic.
Whoa. Because I got high. My first reflex is to go back to that, and it's something that we've talked about a lot. But, I suppose reading the news every night. What the fuck was that? Every night. Am I getting an accent all of a sudden? Night.
That was nice.
And anyway, every night. I've never really delved that much into print media before doing this stream every night.
Right.
And CNN might be, maybe that's just the exception or something. But do we really have an effective press anymore? I mean, I realize that's a very simple question that probably has a no, we don't. But I mean, I want there to be. I really do. But do we, or can we at this stage of the game?
We can, absolutely. The question is, what do you consider an effective press?
Well, that, strives for objectivity, understanding that true objectivity is probably dream the impossible dream, but as long as you're making the effort and making a conscious effort, you do the best that you can. Thank you, Sanguine. Monkey, I think you mean that was noise.
Noise.
But also one that objective, it doesn't take sides, and also, legitimately and fairly speaks truth to power. Point, thank you again. Simple answer. Do we? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what when I think of like an effective media, I run back to Edward R. Murrow versus McCarthy. There was probably the greatest example of truth to power that at least televised media had seen to that point in history, where you had a man who was so feared and so powerful in just the implication of what he said or what his agents did on his behalf, that he brought an entire government, entire industries, entire things to their knees at even the thought that someone in their organization might be a communist. And Edward R. Murrow had the guts to say, no, this is what is true, this is what is not proven, etc. And one newsman essentially was able to move mountains to stop a witch hunt, a national widespread witch hunt. It took a lot longer than that, and the damage done lasted years and years. In some ways, is still with us in some cases. Thank you, Point. Not speaks truth to power, speaks truth in all things, or strive to. True, but as a unofficial branch of our social construct of a government, let's say, they should be able to hold power to account where the normal everyday Joe is unable to because they lack the resources to look into those things. So I know it's possible. Murrow did it. Others have done it. Woodward and Bernstein did it. But now I'm not sure if it's possible to get there because it's so profit driven. Social media and outrage culture and the instantaneous gratification of reading a headline versus the article, which I'm guilty of as well in a lot of cases. I don't know how you claw yourself back away from the current snowballing, if you get what I mean.
I think it can be done. I don't think it will be done because there's no money in it.
Yeah.
Something shifted under Obama, where the press, and actually it was under Bush, where the press, you're right. There's always been bias in press. There has to be because they're people.
Sure.
But they used to strive to keep their bias out of it. And under Bush, that just stopped. And part of it is because of Fox News.
Yes. The success of Fox News and the way that they did, I mean, they had a provable, profitable model for how to present information and how to gain an audience. And all the other news places could only try to catch up to maintain their viewership and their numbers.
Well, not only that, what I mean by that is Fox News was the first time that conservatives felt they had a voice in TV in a long, long time.
Yes, okay.
And because of how slanted they were seen, and depending on what time you're looking at, you can actually find research that shows Fox News, the actual news part of it, was more unbiased than anyone else. Now, the difference is Fox News is not known for their news.
Mm-hmm.
Fox News is known for their commentary, and that's where all of their conservative stuff comes in.
Yes.
Well, because of that, a lot of reporters started going, you know what, fuck it. If Fox News can get away with showing their bias, then we can do it with ours.
Mm-hmm.
And
enter MSNBC.
Yes. So instead of just having your bias in, Fox never claimed that O'Reilly and Hannity, that these guys were unbiased.
Mm-hmm.
They did pull their bullshit of, we report, you decide, while showing those guys.
Yeah.
So there's claims to be made there, and I'm not defending Fox News. I just think Fox News made a brilliant business move. However, what that did was open up for every reporter out there to go, well, if Fox News can get away with showing their bias, I can show mine. Sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say, and that opened the floodgates of everybody doing it. Everybody does it now. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the last time I read an article and I went, wow, that was pretty unbiased. That presented both sides very well.
Real quick before I say something, let me get the last of the ads outstanding right now. This is for the DC Universe thing. This is my best attempt at this, given the information I have. In the DC Universe, all black people live on a single island, far, far away from all others. That is until Tyrock emerges, the first black metahuman. Using his transmutive sonic screams, Tyrock flies to the mainland to enrapture all the women of the DC Universe with his impressive physique. Prepare for Tyrock and Rolla.
Nice.
So I was going to say is that, yeah, so it was taking the gratification of being able to revel in your biases and branding it as a news program,
Mm-hmm.
to take commentary rather than journalism and elevate it to a news network as the premier feature, which of course right-wing radio and just radio in general had been doing for years prior to that point. I mean, Rush Limbaugh was effectively a one-man Fox News for the entire Clinton administration.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, it's like, what is it? It's sort of like, yeah, you can have something that feeds to your gratification and it feels good, but it's not good for you. It's almost like heroin. Thank you, Timothy Seelbeck. Sorry, no. The problems with the press, sorry, I scrolled up too bad. The problems with the press predate Fox News by decades, if not a century or more. Fox News was a reaction to the press of the 70s and 80s showing their biases. Scribe, facts before truth. I do not claim to be a news historian. Okay, I am living with my awakening to media and its role, for better or worse, in the world around me really didn't appear or really didn't become apparent to me until after 9/11, when the screams of treason and patriotism and everything else got so ridiculous. And then, of course, George Bush came up and the press was fawning over him 1 second, and the very minor voices were trying to fight back against the propaganda. So if I'm speaking out of turn on facts or historical trends or anything else, it's I forgive my ignorance, because I honestly don't know. This is all relatively new to me, and I realize that I sound probably naive, all things considered, that this is some new thing or something, or this just happened or was spontaneously generated out of one particular incident or one particular network. No, I don't believe that, but I only know so much, you know.
I'll speak to it. Yeah, as I said, there has always been bias in media because you have people involved.
Yes.
If you go back, I mean, yellow journalism is not something we just invented out of the sky. There's a reason that term exists, and it was point curation. You don't need to be perfect. Do the best you can. We're trying.
Yeah.
But it was it. No matter what you look through in history, it was never as bad as it is right now.
Okay, Timothy Seelbeck, thank you. Sorry, I meant my commercial to be facts before truth. Oh, I thought that was a recrimination against me. This is the importance of context and inflection in text, which there isn't much unless you do it very right. Okay, so my apologies for that. But all the same, but everything I said is absolutely true as well. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun except the history you don't know, which is exactly where I'm at. This is, the realm of my knowledge when it comes to these questions and everything else. Yeah, nothing Fox News is doing is new per se as a mechanism. Its overall effect on the rest of the media, or the media in general, over the last few years, because of the 24-second news cycle instead of the 24-hour news cycle, because of the instantaneous gratification of shared information or likes or things going viral or ad revenue based on clicks and so on and so on. That is all relatively new, because it is the profit scandal. I mean, it's like the tabloids used to be the exception to journalism. Things that were just pure scandal and outrage and everything else. Those were the things at the checkout counter at the grocery store that were just kind of sitting there as sort of an impulse buy, because that's all they were. They were impulse stories. They were stories of something to grab your emotions or something else. Whereas news, the Wall Street Journal back in the old days, or the New York Times, those were the serious, stalwart sort of towers of journalistic integrity for what they were. But now the line has become so blurred. And I've said this any dozen number of times now, but I said before the election that with Trump in the White House, if he got into the White House would become a reality show, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between CNN and TMZ in short order. And that started happening, well, long before Trump for sure, but certainly as soon as Trump was elected, because now it is. I mean, just look at the stories I read every night for CNN. It's nonsense. It's made up malarkey turned into headline news. I don't know. I mean, I read it and I laugh at it in sort of a regretful way because, like, this is the state of our major news networks. Maybe I should start going to ABC or something. Is there a trustworthy news source left right now that isn't like some underfunded scoop reporter type thing somewhere? I don't know.
I don't think there is, and I think the best you can do is read not only the story, but whatever sources you can find about the story. And we don't always have the time to do that.
Yeah.
It's why things like Trump's recording, he never made any statement even similar to, I had recordings in this office.
Right.
But there are people who will never know anything other than Trump might have recorded a conversation. Because they'll never look any deeper into it. They'll never pay attention to the fact that at the time, we were just weeks away from when he accused the FBI of. So I don't think we have a source. I would love to see one, and I'd like to address a few things in the comments. Like somebody, First Cynic, asked me, really, is the press so bad it started a war like in 1898? The press in 1898 isn't even close to what we have now.
No,
not even close. It's just not even comparable. So yeah, if you want to point to that, yeah, there's been times in history when it's been used specifically to do things like, yeah, start wars or to completely demonize one person and destroy them. But we have never had a time where people so openly admit their biases. And show me a time when the reporter that's talking has no problem saying we when they're talking about the movement they're covering. It just has not happened. And that's where we are today. It's not the fourth estate. It is it's part of the political process, and not in the way of being a fourth estate. They're actively rooting for one side or the other, or one cause or the other, or one platform or the other. They are specifically taking sides and not trying to hide it at all. And somebody mentioned Walter Cronkite, and this is an example of somebody. Walter Cronkite was the most trustworthy man in America. And if you look at, he had the Kennedy assassination, the moon landing, and the Vietnam War being a quagmire. And if you look at the last one, he was completely full of shit there. That was all based on the Tet Offensive. The Tet Offensive was when the North Vietnamese pushed all U.S. forces back to one little tiny spot in Vietnam. And within the next 2 weeks, we kicked the living shit out of them.
Yeah.
The only reason it was a quagmire was because of the political situation. Militarily, we kicked the fucking shit out of them. If you look at the actual statistics, we kicked the shit out of them. And there's no reason we couldn't have taken over everything. The only reason we didn't was politics. But that's not what was reported. Oh, there's just too much. There's too much resistance. It's so hard. That's not what it was. It was we didn't have the will to finish the fucking fight. And he reported it as though it was, because of the Tet Offensive. Look how strong they are. No, Walter Cronkite was biased as fuck. But he hid it very well because you could only find it in certain circumstances because he was reporting the fucking news. And that's what we need, because you can have your bias. You can think Donald Trump is an asshole. That's fine. But you thinking he's an asshole doesn't mean he was fucking recording things. Doesn't mean you have to report about what might happen if the prosecutors decide to maybe do something. That is just a way to push a fucking narrative that doesn't need to be pushed. And no, I don't think we can come out of it anytime soon. It's too much money right now.
Let's see. let's. Okay, this is a little sappy, I think. I've written out something to try to respond to Timothy's request. I don't know if it's an ad so much, but it's what came out of my brain. And if I had more time, I would revise the hell out of this because I think I could probably make myself more clear. The road to truth is paved with facts. Facts can be easily rejected and selectively chosen via the filter of emotions, and easily lead the seeker astray. One's passions are the veil through which objectivity's gaze is obscured. Set aside your emotions. Entertain facts that might upset you. Find the real path. Facts before truth.
Well done.
All right. I get a little philosophical. There's my deep thinking for the time there.
Dum, dum, dum. Okay,
All
that
right.
does bring us to 10:30.
Exactly. We are now at the bottom of the hour. Chat, it is now your time. If you have any questions for us, please, by all means, put a few question marks after it so we can spot that in our lazy gaze as we try to look for things to talk about. And remind also, we have 155 people watching. We have 118 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to maybe 130 in the next couple of minutes. If
That would be
you have
awesome.
not, yeah, that'd be great. Let's see. Tomorrow night we are, as a programming note, we're on Monkey's channel.
My channel.
Monkey's
Yeah.
channel, yes. So get
And
ready.
guys, tomorrow we are breaking format a little bit. We thank you, Timothy Seelbeck.
Thank
Wow.
you, Timothy. Thank you so much.
Bravo. Now, does he want you to do a commercial about that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, we'll do the news real fast tomorrow, and then we're just going into an old-fashioned kind of stream that we used to do. We're going to do a nostalgia stream. We're going to talk about the shit that we used to have and things that we miss. Could be music, and you guys can play along with us. So come prepared tomorrow to talk about things that used to be.
Or as a bye Sunky. Bye Sunky. As a preamble to that, if there are any broad, high-level topics of nostalgia that you think we should discuss tomorrow, by all means, put them into the chat and we'll consider them for tomorrow. Because, I mean, nostalgia is such a grand scale idea that a little bit more focus would probably help me, at least, to be able to winnow things down a bit. Let's see. Scribe Light, why did you choose to go the English major route? Asks Shady Grin. I have no other bankable skills other than my vocabulary and my penchant for writing. It was a no-brainer. Hindsight being what it is, I should have pressed myself to get like an MBA or something. But I had no idea what I wanted to do. I took the path of least resistance. That's probably it. I mean, there's a lot of things I wish I had done looking back on it now. But yeah, it hasn't served me unwell, let's say, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself. I still really don't. So, Point says, do you ever miss targets like in darts? Miss targets like in darts. Is that code for something? Monkey, are you there?
I'm here. Missing targets. I miss targets like all the time.
Yeah, I need some clarity there, Point. I'm not sure what you mean, because if you like, do I miss large department stores with a big red circle on them? No. Platypus has asked a few times, how's the quitting coming? Not very well. Yeah.
It sucks.
Did you do your 40 minutes before?
I did.
Okay.
I went right up to 47 minutes. So I am all caught up with that. So real quick, there was another question up here quite a ways back. What's your view on the Joy Sparkle, Jeff Holiday, and Onision situation and the fact that he threatened to call the police? This is from Dominus Kane. I think Joy needs to be very careful because he can call the police on her. And yeah, we're just making videos here, but there does come a time where making videos becomes obsessive behavior. And when you make 6 fucking videos about somebody in a 24-hour period and you've made a total of 40 of them, there are creators who've been around as long as Joy who haven't made a total of 40 videos. She needs to be very careful before she gets in real trouble. FD Swayze asks where SDA is. She has a storm knocking out her internet. So, okay, go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, so Point clarified, like literally, do I miss things like targets like others? The only activity I ever took part in that really required me to aim was my dad and I had a strange little tradition we would do. We used to have a sort of vacation cabin up near a river, and way back when I was young, it's no longer there. It got wiped away by a flood. But one of the things we would do while we were up there is that we had BB guns, and we'd go hunting for slugs. And we would shoot slugs with the BB guns at distance to try to see if we could bang them with a little pellet. And I missed those all the time. And when we couldn't, this is cruel. Pete is going to hate me for this one. But near on to the 4th of July, we take those little black cat firecrackers.
Oh yeah.
And we'd wrap them up in like leaves and stuff and leave them in front of slugs, and they start to like move over them or start to eat them. And then we'd light them.
Nice.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, those were the days. Let's move up a little.
Bloodwing asked me to say hi to his daughters and son-in-law. Hi guys. Hope everybody's well.
Yes, hi Bloodwing and kin. Let's see. BG says, Scribe, how about things you had in the 80s and 90s films that you would never see Hollywood would do nowadays? Yeah, we could talk about Revenge of the Nerds for days about that one.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Ranting Monkey, did you see? Oh yeah, Believing Circus. I saw that. Have both of you guys seen the movie This Is Spinal Tap? And did it turn you up? Did you turn it up to 11? Says Scotch. I have seen this.
Watched it.
I have seen This Is Spinal Tap. It's hilarious. You haven't watched? You haven't seen Spinal Tap? Wow.
No. It's something it's on my to watch list, but my watch time is so limited these days that there's so many things I want to see that I haven't.
Yeah. Donald the Repentless says, were candy cigarettes a thing when you were younger? I remember candy cigarettes. Yes. You'd blow through and like the little powdered sugar would come out and look like smoke for like 2 seconds.
Oh no, the ones we had you just ate.
No, the ones I found they were like wrapped up in paper, and you'd have to like tear the paper off, and you had a little stick of gum in the middle, but they were covered in powdered sugar. So you could have one instance of where you could blow through it, sort of like a straw, and a little puff of powdered sugar would come out, and it looked like you were smoking for 3 seconds. They were the best. Sorry, good.
So we also had bubblegum cigars.
Yes, those too. And the best time to use those would be on cold days when your breath would look like smoke. Sir Adamantine says, Onision is a creepy loser, but Joy Sparkles is trailer trash with a bit of misery mixed in. Jesus.
You might like my next video. Somebody keeps asking, and I forget who it is. I'm trying to find it. Oh, it was Charlemagne asked, do the likes and comments stay on the video once the stream ends? The likes do, the comments do not. Oh yeah, well the comments in the comments, in the running comments don't. If comments you leave after the video is posted fully, those stay like any other YouTube video. The only way we could make those stay is that there's some tool that you can insert the chat into the stream itself. I guess I've never known how to do that. Do you remember when you first taught me how to stream? Yes. That's the kind of thing I was. Yes, that's the kind of thing I was trying to do at the time. You have to use something like OBS and do it into the. Yeah, and you can do it that way. That's too complicated for me. I'm lazy. And besides, given some of the. Oh, sorry, go ahead. It's actually not that hard. It brings my internet to a crawl, so you wouldn't be able to read it anyway. Yeah, I also fear what having a permanent record of some of what our chat says might be more of a burden than a benefit. We just need to do a much better job of making sure we read people's names as we read the questions. That's the other thing too. Nothing for you here says, what if the flat earth people are right? Question mark, question mark, question mark. What if I want to find the edge and then hawk a loogie over it? Yeah. Let's see. Blake Hanley says, do you think Billy Crystal's impersonation of Sammy Davis Jr. would be accepted today? Well, if people knew who Sammy Davis Jr. was, and if they understood that Billy Crystal was doing it out of love, then probably. As long as he didn't do it in blackface. Yeah, I think you can. Impersonations are still loved by everyone. If Billy Crystal does his Muhammad Ali, which even Muhammad Ali loved. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that because it's done out of sincerest flattery. I mean, Billy Crystal loved Muhammad Ali. CT Captain Brambles asked, "Did you make your own avatar monkey?" Yes, I did.
Mhm.
And no, it is not made in paint, guys. This was made in Photoshop, specifically to be easy to manipulate.
Let's see what else we got.
We had some questions further back when I accidentally started that, and
Oh,
I'm scrolling way back to see if I can get back there. So,
okay. I'll keep an eye on the recent stuff. You go back.
nope, too far.
Robert
So-
Lang. Oh, sorry. Have you watched Blake 7 yet? Watch Blake 7. Watch Blake 7. I haven't. I said I would. I completely spaced. No pun intended on watching Blake 7. I will try to remember to watch an episode. I guess they're all on YouTube. I'll try to give it a shot soon if I remember.
Guys, if you asked a question earlier when I first announced I was going to take questions, and I missed it, please ask again. And that I wasn't trying to be mean there. I'd forgot all about YouTube time.
Mm-hmm.
Ranting Monkey, have you ran into any hollow earthers? No, I have not.
No, I don't look for those either.
No, I would stay away from them.
I've actually sort of pointedly avoided looking for things like creationists and such because it just seems so blatantly obvious at this point. It just feels like it's not even worth the time to comment. I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake? I don't know.
I haven't gone after any religious stuff because I think logic does it really well.
Yeah.
And it has been so beaten to death on YouTube. It's not something I care that much about. I really don't care if people are religious. I don't. And I don't care if they spread their message as long as they're not forcing it on me. That's where my problem with SJWs come in, because this shit is being forced on us. So yeah, anytime I see it, I make fun of it because, man.
The Jack Cochran says, thoughts on Wind Farm scaring the Loch Ness Monster?
I think they should be taken down.
Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster needs freedom and not to be scared. Scribe, would Mel Brooks' To Be or Not To Be musical Nazi and Hitler be made today? It could be made with much controversy, I'm sure, but Fat Platypus says, Scribelight, have you had a chance to see my video yet? I did. Maybe I'm having an Alzheimer's moment. Do I know anything about your video?
I don't know if you do or not. He asked me to watch it. He posted it in my Discord. I watched it. It's not a bad video. It's a long video, a little bit meandering. And as he said, he's going to take my advice and make a series of it. I think he should really do that. And if you want to watch his video, you won't regret it, I don't think. Scribe Light should ban one ply. I don't understand.
You mean like one ply toilet paper?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, it's horrible.
I don't know what that means. You have to clarify that, weaponized retard.
How's that quitting coming? It's not.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
Monkey tits. I don't know. Will there be monkey tits?
No. I mean, they exist, but I'm not sharing them.
Let's see.
Point. Are you just repeating people's questions? Because some of these I've answered. I appreciate it if you are, if they're ones we missed, but.
Politically incorrect grandpa. Scribe monkey. Excuse me. American Gods in Your Future. If I can find it streaming somewhere, because I don't. Was it HBO or Showtime show? I don't have a subscription to those, so. Let's see.
Oh, well, thank you, Point. Yeah, but we had answered some of those. So, Fat Platypus asked if Lady's Monkey is doing better on the quitting. Yes, she is. Last I heard, she hadn't had a cigarette since Sunday afternoon.
Scotch asks, Scribelight, why don't you screen share the stuff you read? Because I'm probably overly nervous about accidentally giving away personal information on my desktop or otherwise by clicking the wrong thing at the wrong time, mostly.
Yep. When I screen share, you guys have no idea how much I make sure everything is closed and locked up.
Let's see. Nothing for you here asks, what do you think about Kekistani seizing the memes of production? Har, 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 har.
Funny.
Let's see. Emperor Vulcan, how did you come up with your YouTube channel names? Well, mine's relatively simple. There's the brand of DVD or CD drive on my computer was Light Scribe, and I just switched the words around, and I thought that sounded good. And on sort of reverse reflection, I thought, well, I am an English major, so Scribe kind of works. Light, whatever, it just rolls off the tongue well. So that's where that came from.
You're a shining beacon.
I'm a shining beacon of the English language or something. What about you? Where did Ranting Monkey come from?
I used to write very ranty blogs, and my mom called me a monkey when I was little, so Ranting Monkey. Isn't it odd that we're all atheistic right wingers, said Patrick Meredith. You'd be surprised how many people are more left wing, but the definition has shifted so much. I don't think right now you can even use right and left wing on YouTube anymore. Because somebody like Chris Raygun claims he's a lefty. Sargon says he's a lefty. Lots of people claim to be left, and they do it based on things like free speech, which used to be a very liberal platform.
Yeah.
But it's just not anymore.
Let's see. Blake Hanley says, Scribe, did you catch the movie reference I made by requesting the fake orgasm? I didn't see the reference that you made, but I'm assuming you mean When Harry Met Sally, because we're talking about Billy Crystal earlier. If I'm wrong, tell me so. Psy22, Scribe, on a previous Monkey stream, you mentioned a book that had wizards, magic, and action. What was it called? I assume you are referring to my reference to the book Cain, C-A-I-N, by Robert Huggins. It's a 90s, I believe, novel. It's got special forces and conspiracies and occult witchcraft and a big monster, and it's great. It's absolutely the most awesome guy book thing that's never been made into a movie, and it totally should be ever. And if you can find a copy of that, I highly recommend it for the testosterone alone. Timothy Seelbeck, constitutional deist?
Okay.
I don't know what that's in reference to, but I mean, I guess Jefferson was a constitutional deist, sort of.
Peter asks if my children are smokers. No, they're not. They are actually heavily anti-smoking.
Good. Let's see.
And I'm very happy for that.
I've missed a few questions, of course.
We always do, and guys, we are so sorry for that.
Yeah, Monkey, why doesn't anyone from the band ever join your Discord voice channel? Well, I get up at 5:30 in the morning every morning on the weekdays, so my energy level, it kind of taps out around the time that we end the stream or just a little bit after. So if I did come into Discord, I probably wouldn't be saying much because my brain is shutting down and I'm thinking about work for the next morning. I'll try to do more of that when I have the opportunity, but at that time of day, I've spent so much time in front of a computer, I kind of just want to go lay down and go to bed.
I don't go into the voice channel because usually when I get on there, I'm doing so many other things at the same time. And it's easier for me to just type.
Yeah,
believe it or not, that's much easier. I'm a very fast typer, and I jump between the things I'm doing. And often I'm listening to music or listening to YouTube videos. There's always something going on in my ears. So jumping into a chat like that, I will do it sometime. I won't promise you when, but eventually, yeah, I will jump in there. It's just that.
Let's see.
Easier to type.
Conservatarian Caesar says, Scribe, how did the three of you guys become friends? You think we're friends? Isn't that quaint?
Who fucking said that?
Yeah, well, Monkey and I met on, I think it was an Irate Bear stream, and we got to talking about stuff, and we kind of took over the stream and just kind of went from there. And then Monkey invited SDA on to one of the early streams as a guest, I guess, and it just became sort of the one night stand that never stopped.
Yes.
And so she's Sir Adamantine, thank you. Have you ever watched Dean Martin roasts? If not, not only are they hilarious, but they show how far we've regressed. Yes, the old roast with like Don Rickles and Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis and just everybody. Rickles was awesome.
Was so great.
Oh yeah, and you can even find like some really early Billy Crystal ones on that same stuff where he did his Muhammad Ali when he was like a teenager practically. Yeah, the old roasts are great. A lot of the early seasons, so to speak, of the roast they did on Comedy Central were really great, especially when Greg Giraldo was still alive. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah.
And when Jeff Ross was first starting out on those things, some of that stuff is just hilarious, split your sides. And I would be surprised if you could get away with half of what they did on the most recent roasts, let alone the old Dean Martin stuff. You couldn't. God, if Phyllis Diller tried to say anything she used to say now that she said back then, she would be pilloried. What? Point. Oh, thank you. Who is Don Rickles?
Look him up.
What? Mr. Warmth? You do not know Don Rickles? Oh, dude.
Look up Don Rickles on YouTube and thank me later.
Yeah, look up Don Rickles and Johnny Carson. Just look up any of their interactions from back in the day. Don Rickles is a legend, absolutely. And man, when he passed away recently, there was this interview that I think it was Jimmy Kimmel did with John Stamos and the dad from Full House that suddenly I forget his name.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget and John Stamos, the most unlikely friends of Don Rickles you could imagine. But listening to their stories about Don Rickles and just the friendship that he forged with Jimmy Kimmel and those two other guys is just heartbreaking in one way and also very gratifying in another. So yeah, look up Rickles.
Don Rickles, in a way, reminds me. Bearing kind of reminds me of Don Rickles because it is amazing when he died how many people that you would never, ever think had anything to do with him.
Yeah.
Got up and told stories about how nice this guy was to him.
Yeah.
And he was if you watch his jokes are so fucking mean.
Yes.
They are just brutal. But what you said earlier about Billy Crystal's imitation of Ali.
Yeah.
Rickles' joke to you was a hug.
Yes.
It was saying, I love you.
Yes.
And
he's one of the few people on the planet that could get away with saying those things and be given a complete pass just for who he is, who he is as a person, how he treats people in real life versus just how he tears people down. It was never mean-spirited. Even when he sounded like he was being angry, you could tell there was this twinkle in his eye, and you could tell he was just being sort of like, he was trying to bring you in. He was trying to make you part of the joke by joking at you. It was great. It was great.
And the reason I said that he reminds me of Bearing, if you watch Bearing talk to anybody he's really good friends with, he just rips them to shreds.
Yes.
Like Andy Worski, he just fucking rips that dude to shreds. But it's a place. It's because they love each other. It's not hatred.
Yeah, like when I make fun of Monkey and his inability to please his wife, you know.
I think. Fuck you. I think we need so many more Don Rickles in our lives and so many less fucking SJWs.
Yeah.
We
Nothing
need to learn to laugh at ourselves.
Nothing for you here. Is there a point you have to reach to monetize your channel? 100 subscribers is when that stuff opens up, and you have to verify your channel by having a code sent to a cell phone number that you give the YouTube.
They also have added the what's the word I'm looking for? The threshold. You have to have 10,000 views.
Oh, yes, that's true too. Yes, you have to have at least
10,000 viewers. It's a total of 10,000 views on all of your videos.
Right. So you verify 100 subscribers, verify your channel, and at least 10,000 views. However, in whatever combination those things come first, essentially.
Earlier, Scotch asked. He said he thought we all met on a Based Mama.
It may have been. It was either Irate Bear or Based Mama that I met you on. I can't remember exactly.
You and we may have first met on a Based Mama stream, but we first really talked on an Irate Bear stream, and we took it over.
Yes.
And then we did it the next night, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Scribe, Monkey needs to learn to eat pussy. Let me tell you something. I have ate pussy a lot. I've only had that one instance, you motherfuckers.
Let's see.
Help me verify my channel. My channel's not even verified.
Your channel's not verified?
Not it's a verified partner.
Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking more of Twitter. Never mind.
Yeah, no, yeah, Twitter. Yeah, I don't care about Twitter. Yeah.
Would you rather lick Riley's Adam's apple or wear a pair of underwear on your head for 24 hours?
Underwear.
Underwear, clean underwear.
Yeah, clean underwear's fine. Yeah, you didn't say anything about
You know
how
what?
the
No,
underwear.
fuck that. I would get it over with quick. I just lick his Adam's apple. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just one long lick. People call freaking socialist Marine Le Pen far right. Like what? Well, she has a few far right policies, and that's enough for people to do it. We've gotten to a place in the entire fucking world where you either have left or right, and it's fucking insane.
Scotch asks, Scribe Light, do you have the Scribe Light pen? No, I am not at all affiliated with the Scribe Light pen company or anything else. That is the, as far as I know, the one other thing in the world that actually shares my name, and obviously I am not of any affiliation with them. Anyway, sure, I would not mind. I would not mind at some point if I could strike up some kind of deal with them to be a spokesperson in some fashion. That's something I'd chill out for sure, because it's about as innocuous a product as you can imagine.
Point. I will definitely check my email. Thank you, bud. Have a good night.
Let's see. Marine Le Pen. How do socialists become far right?
Because the media decides they are.
Yeah, or the left moves so far to the left that there's nowhere else for the socialists to go.
Misogyny asks, any quick tips for starter YouTubers? I saw you have a channel, and I meant to check out your videos. I'll do that when we're done here. Not knowing how far along you are, the only thing I would tell you is enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it,
change it.
Try to figure out why.
Yeah, find your own style. Practice makes perfect, etc. It's like with anything else. It's just, you just have to start doing it, and you'll learn from your mistakes. First off, you'll learn what you like about it, what you don't, and of course, if the don'ts outweigh the likes, then maybe it's not for you. But if you stick to it, you never know. You might get up to. So I just hit 1,700 subscribers the other day, actually. So
congrats.
Yeah, so that's 1,700.
The other thing I'll tell you is don't put too much thought into your numbers.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't look at the numbers.
And I know that's easy to say.
Yeah.
Because
it also depends on what your intention is. It depends on what your intention is. If your intention is to turn this into a job and to turn this into a revenue stream, you have to approach it from a completely different angle than if you're doing it as a hobby. Because if you're going to start it as a business, if you hope to turn it into something that's a moneymaker, you have to build it like a business. You have to have a business plan. Like, how are you going to monetize this? How many videos are you going to make a day? What's your Patreon going to be? What rewards you're going to have? Set up your store. You have to network, and so on and so on and so on. If you're just doing it as a hobby, then treat it like a hobby, and don't try to get too stressed out about it, and just have fun with it. Now, I did that exact thing, and it became an addiction in the quickest way possible. So I felt like I had to put out a video every day. And so that's why I have such a library, is because I was just such a rabid dog in those first couple of months.
Okay, conservatarian Caesar, let's set the record straight here. If Monkey is bad at sex, is Scribe a virgin? I am not bad at sex. I had one time where I annoyed my wife by apparently playing around too much, going down on her. Everything else has been fine.
I am not a virgin by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not bad at
sex.
I will say I have never been promiscuous. I have been very selective in
Scribe's a whore.
The partners I've had. Excuse me. I was president of the bondage club in my college, which is true. That doesn't make me a whore. I never took money. I never had money. I had the stripper at the bachelor party give me her number. Thank you.
Whore. Real quick, before we end, we've had a lot of questions about how to YouTube and stuff. Would any of you be interested in like a half-hour stream on my channel where I will just answer your questions about how I do stuff and my thoughts on this? If so, let me know now. If not, we can do it another time. Yes, Bondage Club. G. Ronert B. He was a bondage dude.
Yeah, there was
this is Christian Grey.
Yeah, short version was through a very convoluted series of events. The story that I'm going to hold for some charity stream or something. I became the president of the school-endorsed BDSM club at my college, and I was thus for the time I spent at college. But again, that's a store I'm going to hold for a time where there's like a charity stream or something, and a donation will pry that from my tightened jaw. You like that tightened jaw?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so again, tomorrow we will be on Monkey's channel. We have
Yes.
137 people watching and 137 likes.
Well done. I see. I show 138 likes.
Oh, okay. Well, mine just says 137, so who knows?
Hmm.
That's weird. So yeah, tomorrow night we're on Monkey's stream, Monkey's channel for Monkey Stream.
Yep.
We will be discussing nostalgic type stuff, probably to SDA's chagrin in some instances.
Should be fine.
Otherwise, do we have anything else to go over before we leave tonight?
Nope, but there were a lot of people who said they'd be interested. So maybe 11:15, I'll start a stream on my channel. It'll just be me talking, but come on and ask your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them.
Great. Okay, yeah. So if you're interested in learning some more stuff about or tips on YouTube channels and such, head over to Monkey's channel in about 15 minutes or so. In any case, Monkey, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Chat, thank you so much for joining us in this reduced population stream, as it were. SDA, we miss you. We hope your internet gets fixed sooner rather than later, so we can talk.
And I hope you're safe down there.
Yeah, and also be safe with the storm down there. Thank you to everyone who donated. I hope you enjoyed your ads. And my life makes me, God, it's hot out lately. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.